Hi everyone, this is Tulani Kelvin, the tutor. Welcome to the online lesson for mathematics grade 11. I'm using mind action series. So I'm going to be looking at chapter 4, which is analytical geometry. So as usual, I'm just going to start with the basics of this chapter, which is analytical geometry. Don't forget that. So the basics are the revision for grade 10, the grade 10 concept. So in grade 10 you did study about a distance between 2 points. I guess you are familiar with this equation over here where AB is equals to the square root of b x of b minus x of a squared plus the y of b minus y a squared. So that is the distance formula for the distance formula. And moving forward, we also have the midpoint of a line segment. There is the formula there is just x of b plus x of a divided by 2, y of b plus y of a divided by 2, and automatically you will get the midpoint. And then we also have the gradient of a line, the gradient of the line, which is also known as the slope, something like that. So there's the equation. The gradient is as follow: is y of b minus y of a all over x of b minus x of a. So that's the equation for the gradient. So don't worry, this is just the basics. These are the things that you must know, before you can just jump into the topic or the chapter. So you must know the following equations. Make sure that you know them. You must memorize them actually, because of you won't get this on your exam or on your test. They won't provide you with those formulas, so you must be able to memorize them. So this is just a revision. I'm not going to touch that. So moving forward, I'm just highlighting what is important. So another thing we must know, they say, okay, let me just read the statement. In grade 10, the following information regarding parallel line and perpendicular lines. So this information here is regarding the parallel lines and the perpendicular lines. They say if two lines A, B, and DC are parallel, then their gradients are equal. Gradient of AB is equal to the gradient of DC. So let me just go to the board. So let's suppose we have something like this is the Cartesian plane, this is the y, and this is the x, and we are having parallel lines which are like this, and then let's just say A, B, C, D. So what's happening here? If A, B is parallel to C, D, therefore the gradient of A, B is equals to the gradient of CD. And then if we're having a line here, let's say we have O here, and then we have the line that is perpendicular with CD, and let me just label here as Z. So the gradient of OZ multiplied by, oops, sorry about this, multiplied by the gradient of CD, it must give you -1. They must give you -1. The reason is because of they are perpendicular. The reason is they are perpendicular. So those are the basics that you must know before you can just jump into the topic. Oops, I keep on doing mistakes. I don't know why. OZ, when it's perpendicular with CD, therefore the gradient is going to be -1. And if AB is parallel to CD, therefore their gradients are equal. So those are the basics that you must know, guys. Let me just go back to the textbook. You see, if two lines AD, DC are perpendicular, therefore the product of their gradient equal to the -1. So those are the things that you must know before you can just jump into the you can just jump into the questions, so those are the basic things, and we also have the inclination of a line. The inclination of the line is also known as the angle of inclination. Angle of inclination. So the inclination of a line is the angle formed with the horizontal of the anti-clockwise direction on the Cartesian plane. The incline of a line is calculated by finding angle formed at the x-axis measured in the anti-clockwise direction. Theta is the angle of inclination of line AB. So let's say suppose we are given this line like this. So the angle that is with the horizontal, you understand, is formed with the horizontal, which meaning is the theta here. So that's the angle of or inclination of a line. Angle, you understand, is angle of inclination. So you must know, or you must also know the angle of inclination. So the formula for the angle of inclination, let me clean here. The formula for the angle of inclination is as follows: the tan theta is equal to the gradient m, or we can say the gradient. Let me just show you here. If we are having something like this, and this is our theta here, which is formed with the x-axis, this is the x, this is the y. Therefore, the gradient here, let's suppose we say this is the line AB. Therefore, meaning that for the angle of inclination, we must say tan theta is equals to the gradient of AB. As easy as that, you understand? So you'll find that maybe the examiner says calculate the gradient of line AB or the gradient of AB, and then after that he says or she says what is the angle of inclination, or determine the angle of inclination of the line AB or AB, you understand? Therefore, it's easy, analytical geometry is easy, guys. It's not difficult, you understand? It's not difficult. So those are the things that you must know, the basics, so you can also go through this and by your own understand basically what's going on, you understand? So moving forward, let me see. Those are the examples of the angle of inclination. Those were the examples of the angle of inclination. Okay. Another thing that you must know, you can be given something like this here. Let's just look at this diagram here, where they can even ask you to determine the equation. We did functions, guys. We did functions. So basically, this is a straight line. You understand? So let me just go to the board and just show you here. Let's say suppose here our line is like this, and here we are given 1, -1, and -1 and what? Okay, -1 and 0, and suppose here we are given 3 and 3. So, and we are given something like this, So when you are given something like this, then they say determine the equation of line AB. So the equation of line AB, this is simple. What you're going to do, you're just going to calculate the gradient of this. So the gradient of AB, let me just do this. So the gradient of AB is going to be y of B minus y A, or we can just say, okay, let me just continue, y x B minus x A. So what you can do, guys, because of sometimes it might be confusing. I've seen learners struggling with gradient, so you can say ya minus yb, And if you started with a here, you're just going to say xa minus xb. You understand? If you start with a on the y and you also start with a on the x, you understand? That's how basically it goes. You understand? So it doesn't matter whether you start with a or b, as long as you follow the rule that if you start with a, on the x you start with, I mean on the y you start with a on the axis. So that is important, you understand? It's very much important. So make sure that you understand this much better, guys. Don't do mistakes, you know. So this is important. Well, I think I'm having the symptoms of flu, so I'm sorry about that. So moving forward, we are just going to substitute our values. We have our value here, I mean our coordinates here and the coordinates there. So we are just going to substitute them. So the y of b, y coordinate of b is 3 minus 0, and the x coordinate of b is 3 minus what, 1. So the negative 1, you just put the brackets there so that you cannot do the mistakes. It's also recommended that you should do that so that you cannot do mistakes. It's advisable to always, when you substitute, you use the brackets there. So let me just punch this on my calculator, guys. I'm just lazy to do this with my mind is Sunday. I'm tired, you understand? So basically I'm supposed to rest, but I'm not resting. So therefore the this is the the value of the gradient of AB, you understand? So now we have the value of the gradient. So what we can do, we can just say y is equals to mx plus c. You know this formula, I've told you before about this at functions there. So now we can just take any coordinate here, a or b, but I will just take b, you know, or I will take a, but I like b, I go with b, you understand? You can use a, any coordinates, you understand, to substitute here. So what is going to happen, I'm just going to substitute 3 here is equals to the m, which is the gradient. I substitute the gradient there is going to be 4, and the x is also 3 there, 3. So here basically I determine we are determining the value of c. So here I get my answer as 9/4 plus c, and we are having 3 there. It's going to be 3 minus the 9/4, which I get my answer as the value of c basically is 3/4. So this is the value of c, you understand? So moving forward, what we can do, we are just going to come here. I don't have enough space there. I substitute the value of m is 3/4 x. What is the value of c is plus 3/4. So this is the equation for this line. So you understand, this is basically, this is functions, you know, this is functions. So I will just go to one of the previous exams so that I can show you how basically we handle this kind of equation. Okay, or before I can go to the question paper. So let me just show you something here. Let me erase this. I hope you were taking notes there, but if you did not take notes, you can just reverse the video and pause it, take notes, you understand? So what you can do, let's say suppose there was theta here, and say they said they want the angle of inclination of the line AB. So what we are going to do, or they say the value of theta, you know, there are different ways to ask questions, you know, so that they can trick you. But if you know the concept, it's going to be easy. So you still remember is tan theta is equals to the gradient of AB. So is equals to the gradient of AB. So what we can do here, I'm just going to substitute my values. So the gradient is 3 over 4. You still remember 3 over 4, and we apply trigonometry there. It's just going to be, you do the inverse of tan, which is 3 over 4, and you punch this on your calculator. So let me punch it for you on your calculator. So the inverse of tan, 3 over 4, I get my answer as theta is equals to 36.8. Let me round it to 2 decimal places. It's going to be 87 degrees. So that is the angle of inclination. You understand? Is the angle of inclination. So you must know the following stuff, guys. You understand? So now I think I can just jump into the. Okay, let me let's just go check. What else are we leaving here? What else are we leaving here? More examples on parallel. I will just cover that on the question paper. I will just cover that on the question papers. So let's just move into the question papers, guys, so that I can show you how easy is this chapter. You understand? Here is the question paper, which is for November 2018. It's the final paper. It was written by 2018 learners. I guess today they are, I don't know, they are far, So it's question 3, is analytical geometry. So another thing that you must study is the properties of shapes. Here we are given the parallelogram, but if you can look at this with another angle, you can say maybe, but it cannot be a kite. It's a parallelogram. You understand, because of these two sides here, they are parallel. So let me just read the statement and hear what they are telling us here. So question 3, they say in the diagram, A is -2 and 2, B is 6 and 5, C 0 and -3, and D is X and Y. So D, we are not given those coordinates. I guess a question might come and say, determine the coordinates of B or of D, And moving forward, we are given, D and D are vertices of a quadrilateral having AD. Where is AD? AD is parallel to BC. So these two lines are parallel. So produced has a, BA produced has an x-intercept at E. DB and AC intersect at M. N is T and 0. You can also be asked to give or calculate the value of T, and is a point on D. Well, this is so much. Basically, what they told us here is right here on the diagram. So, well, reading all that, it can be boring, understand, but it's important to read and understand the statement before you can just jump into the questions. So let's just go to the questions. They say calculate 3.1, calculate the gradient of BC. So where is BC? BC, this is going to be easy, right? So the gradient of BC, let's go to the board. So 3.1, the gradient of BC. So let's just write the coordinates. The formula y of B minus y of C over the x of B minus the x of C. So let's just go and check the formulas. The coordinates there. BC. So B is 6 and 5. That one is 0, -3. So B is 6 and 5 and C is 0 and negative 3. I'm just writing those coordinates here so that I can know I save time basically moving up and down, you understand? So let me just substitute my values. The y of B is 5 minus the negative 3 there, of which is for y of C, and then the x of B is 6 minus 0. So you can easily go there and punch this on your calculator. So let me just punch it on my calculator here. Is 5 minus the negative of 3 and 6 minus 0, and the answer is 4 over 3. This is the gradient of this the gradient of BC, you understand? So moving forward, let's just move to the next equation. The next question. They say 3.2, determine the equation of AD. Do you still remember? They said that AD is parallel to BC. So meaning that automatically we have the gradient of AD because of we calculate the gradient of BC. So if you want to prove that, you can prove, but I don't know how you are going to prove it because of you don't have you don't have the coordinates of D there. So basically you can just quickly get the coordinate, the equation of AD there. So at D we are having -2, and at A we are having -2 and 2. So let me just copy this on the board. Is negative D is -2 and 2. Oops. -2 and 2. So they want the equation of D. What you are going to do, I like this equation because of I think it's saving time, you understand? So this other one, say y, something like y minus y1 x mx minus x1. So you can also use this, but I like this, so I won't show you this, you understand? But I know some of the teachers, they provide you with that equation. So while I like this one, well, I think it's easy, you understand? So if it's not easy for you, you can use that other one. So moving forward here, I'm just going to substitute my values. So the gradient, you still remember the gradient, since BC, okay, let me just since BC is parallel to AD, therefore M of BC is going to be equals to the M of AD. So meaning that the M of AC is equals to the M of AC is equals to 4 over 3. So let's just substitute our values there. Let me say 4 over 3, which is the gradient there, and then substitute my value is -2 for x plus C is the one we are looking for. So punch your calculator now. 4 over 3 multiplied by the -2, the answer is -8 over 3 plus x plus C, and then we are having 2 here, so it's going to be 2 plus 8 over 3 when you transpose this other 8 over 3 on the other side, on the left hand side, so it's going to be positive. So that's why I say 2 plus 3, so I'm not writing that on the board. So my C here is 14 over 3. So the equation of AD, so I can just remove this information here. I was just showing you, explaining basically. So the equation is going to be 4 over 3, which is the gradient, and the x plus 14 over 3. As easy as that. So this is the equation. This is the equation of AD. You understand? This is the equation of AD. So it's important. So I don't know where can I write this, the equation of AD. So let me just check on the next question before I can just erase it. So they say now determine the value, determine the value of t. So let's just go and check. T is right here on n, and we have t basically is the x coordinate of n, you understand, and we are given that the n is n is something like the is t and 0. So let's just go there on the line AD. So where basically what I can say here, we are going to substitute 0 on this equation, you understand, on the equation of AD, and then we are going to get the coordinate of t, the value of t. So let me just go to the board. Let me go to the board on this same equation. This is 3.3. On this same equation, I'm just going to say y is equals to 4/3, and here I'm just going to substitute t and plus 14/3. So let me erase here, let me erase this one, because of I have to substitute the value of y, which is 0. So what I can do here, I'm just going to transpose this one to the other side. It's going to be negative 14/3, which is going to be 4/3 t there, and then you can divide both sides by this 4/3. So let me just do it on your calculator. So it's going to be the negative of 14/3 divided by 4/3. So let's see what's the answer here. We must get the negative answer. So the answer is, the value of t is 7/2. So that is the value of t. Basically, everything here is a follow-up question from 3.1 to 3.2, 3.3 is a follow-up question, you understand? So if you get BC, as in like the gradient of BC wrong, meaning that everything is going to be wrong, you understand? So you must make sure that you understand this concept much better, and then you do it, you apply the correct things here, you understand? Because of if you don't do that, it's going to be wrong. So moving forward, let's just move forward and see the next question. The next question, they want to calculate the length of AN. So let's see, AN. So we have the coordinates of AN, so we can quickly go to the board and calculate everything here. So let me just store this information here on the board somewhere else. Let me just take a screenshot of this, so that maybe I'm going to need this information. You'll never know. So I'm not sure that it's going to record, whether it's going to take the screenshot while I'm recording. Okay. Okay, I have I stored this information. Now I can easily erase my board, because it's not that much big, this board. So let's check on the next question. Oh, they want the length of AN. So let's just go to the board and what question was that? 3.4. The value of AN. Analytical geometry is easy, guys. 3.4. AN. So do you still remember the formula for, let me just write clean here, 3.4. So do you still remember the formula for the gradient, I mean the distance, the square root of x of a minus x of n squared plus y of a minus y of n squared, and then moving forward, let me substitute my values here. So the for a, if I remember, it was -2 and 2, but let me just -2 and 2. So -2 and 2, which is for a, and let's check here. That's why I needed the copy. So n, we calculated the value of t, which is was 7, -7/2 and 0. These are the coordinates, so let's just substitute everything here and finish up with this. So the x of a is -2 minus x of n, -7/2 all squared, plus, moving forward, substitute the value of the y is 2 minus 0 squared. Punch on your calculator now and get the answer. Let's finish up with this thing. Punching on my calculator. I enjoyed this lesson, guys. I really enjoyed it. It's nice, it's nice. If it was something like food, it was going to be my favorite food. So when I punch on my calculator here, I get my length as 5/2 units, 5/2, which is 2.5 units. So let's move on to the next question. Let's see if so up to so far low. Before we can just proceed, you see from for the first question, 3.1, it was 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 2 is 7, and plus 2 is 9. So up to so far you have 9 marks. You see, you can just you can score marks over here. This 19, you can just take 19, all of it, or just leave for charity purposes, you understand? Maybe take 15, you understand? It's also good, but I don't see anything difficult here. So if DC is defined by, so let's just see, DC is defined by, this is the equation of DC, you understand? And determine the coordinates of D. Wow, this is amazing. So they want the coordinates of D, you understand? So we are given the equation, you understand? We are given the equation. So in this case here, we don't have anything here, understand? We don't have anything to substitute on this equation. So how are we going to handle this question? Yeah, this might be very tricky, but this. So let's just handle this 3.5. So we are given the equation of is DC. Yes, it's the equation of DC, which is this one. So you know what we are going to do here, guys? We have the equation of DC, and we also have the equation of AC. So here is the point of intersection of these two lines, AD and DC. That's where they meet, you understand? They intersect, they bisect each other, or whatever what they are doing there. So what we are going to do, we are going to equate these equations. So we are given for line AC, is AC, DC, they say is y is equals to let me just see, 3 over 8x minus 3, 3 over 8, 3 over 8x minus 3, and we have the equation for, you still remember the equation that we calculated for AC. It was AC, AD. So the equation of AD, is, we calculated this. If you are taking notes, I guess you have that. You can see what I'm talking about. If you didn't take notes, just go back and reverse the video and just, copy whatever that you're supposed to copy there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to equate this. It's like a simultaneous. It's simultaneous equations here basically. So it's 3 over 8x minus 3 is equals to 4 over 3x plus 14 over 3. So we group the like terms. So I'm going to say 3 over 8x minus 4 over 3x is equals to 14 over 3 plus 3. So we did all the transposes there. So just punch this on your calculator, guys. Just punch this on the calculator. So it's 3 over 8 minus 4 over 3. You can do this with your own, own knowledge. It's negative 3 over 24. So here I'm just looking at the time. I don't have that time to, solve this. You're allowed to use a calculator. Just punch your calculator. So it's 3 there, and your answer is going to be 23 over 3. So you're just going to divide this 23 over 24 divided by this. So when you punch this on your calculator, some learners they find it difficult. These fractions are too much. So what you gonna do? You just say 23. Let me show you 23 over 3, and you just put this. You can just put it in the brackets and divide it by the negative of 24 over 23 is 23 here over 24, and automatically you punch on your calculator like this, because of if you're going to do that long, so it might be a problem. So you just do as I show you there. So let's just punch this as 23 over 3 divided by the negative of 23 over 24. So let's see our answer. It must be negative. So x is equal to 34 over 3, the negative of 34 over 3, which is negative 11.33. is a negative 11.33. So but I will just leave it like this. So this is the x coordinate, so we have to find the y. So for y, simultaneous equation, so I was supposed to let me just choose this side, then let me just do something like this. I don't have enough space, so I only take one equation here and I substitute the value of this. So let me just take this first one, 3 over 8, and then we substitute the value of x there. It's going to be 34 over 3 plus 14 over 3, and then you punch on your calculator. You understand? Punch on your calculator, you'll get your answers correct. So it's going to be 3 over 8, and the value of x is negative of 34 divided by over 3, and you close your brackets there, and plus 14 over is 14 over, no, it's minus 3 here, so I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm really sorry. My apologies. Is minus 3 there. It's not the fraction. I'm mixing up things here, so just make sure that you copy the right thing, you write the right thing when you punch, you doing everything correct. So therefore the value of y is going to be 29 over 4, negative 29 over 4. So negative 29 over 4, meaning that okay, negative 29 over 4, my coordinates of d is 34 over 3, negative 34 over 3, and the negative 29 over 4. So let's just go there. So look at d. This side is negative, the x is negative, the y is negative. So our values make sense because of they are all negative, you understand? They make sense, you understand? D is on the negative quadrant there. I can just say that, you know, even if, yeah, it's on the negative quadrant. Let me just put it in that way because of here or here, like our our x is negative and the y is negative too. So it's just, you know, it's just easy as that, guys. So let's just but again, let's just continue with the lesson. So moving forward is 3.6. They say that prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. How can we prove that ABCD is a parallelogram? So we must know the properties of a parallelogram. Like I told you, you must study the properties of a quadrilaterals, you understand? You must study the properties of the quadrilaterals, the properties of the triangles, you know, properties of a kite. You know, there are a lot of quadrilaterals that we have there. So how can we prove that this is a parallelogram? So what we can do, we can just say we can calculate the gradient of AB, and also calculate the gradient of DC. We have the coordinates of DC, and then therefore if those two gradients are equal, therefore we have successfully proved that this is a parallelogram. So let me just show you on the board. So let me just, I will erase this. So let me just store this information somewhere. Okay, now I can erase this. Let me erase it. So the coordinates of D was D is negative 34 over 3, and the negative 29 over 4. The negative 29 over 4. Negative 29 over 4. This chapter is nice, guys. It's very nice. So C again is 0 and negative 3. So C is 0 and negative 3. So let's first calculate remember we are proving for parallelogram is 3.6 parallelogram. So let's just find the gradient of DC. So it's y of D minus y of C, x of D minus x of C, and Okay, moving forward here, we have the y of d is going to be 29 over 4 minus y of c is negative 3, and the x of d is negative 34. Is it 34? Let me confirm this. Yeah, 34 over 3 minus 0. Just use a calculator to punch this. Just use your calculator. Okay. So when I punch my calculator, I get something like 9 over 34, which is 0.264. So let me just calculate the gradient of the other line, which is AC. A is negative 2 and 2. B, I mean, B is 6 and 5. So A is negative 2 and 2. B is 6 and 5. Didn't we calculate this at the first? What was? Let me just check here. Oh, it was BC, that one. BC. Okay, let's just calculate the gradient of AC. So the M of AC is going to be y of A minus y of B. X of C, sorry, x of A minus x of C. So moving forward, we are just going to substitute the values here like we did before. You know, it's the third time. I don't know how many times. Fourth time when we calculate gradient. So you must be familiar with it now. So the x of A, I mean the y of A. Let me just confirm my coordinates again. Okay, they are correct. So the coordinates of A here, y coordinate is 2 minus y coordinate of is just 5 there, and then we come for here is going to be negative 2, and the x is minus 6. Let's just punch this on our calculators. 2 minus 5, and so our answer here is, I get 8 over 3 over 8. So let me just see. So I don't know what we did wrong basically. I don't know what we did wrong because of this is 0.375. So let me just punch on this other one. It's 9 over 34. 9 over 34 is 0.264. Well, if you round this is 3 is 4. So let's just check the marking guideline. What was the problem basically? What was the problem here? So this is the marking guideline for the question paper. Is 2018. It was 2018 there, so we are on. Okay, for verification, let's just this question 3.1 was 4 over 4. Yes, it's 4 over 4. Is 4 over 3. We got that correct. Moving forward, the equation is, we also got that correct. And t again, for t, where is t? Let me check here. You remember t, it was, yes, negative 7 over 2. It is also correct. So the an it was 5 over 2 is also correct. And let's move to d. Oh, d, there must be something that we did there is not fine, because of their x basically is negative. The x is negative 8 and 6 is negative, and y is negative 6. So that's where we did our mistake, you understand? That's where we did the mistake. So I don't know because of how come did we do the mistakes there. It was 8 over 3 minus x 4 over blah blah. Okay, well, maybe we did not apply the correct mathematics there. We were supposed to cross multiply, maybe, if that's the case. So let's just go back. We go back now and check what we did wrong there. So I'm sorry about that. My apologies. My apologies. So let me just do this again. I'm alone here. I don't have anyone to just assist me, as in, like, whenever I'm doing mistakes, you understand? I'm also a human. I do mistakes like you. Imagine if you did that on your exam, guys. It was a horrible mistake. Horrible mistake. That was a horrible mistake. Very bad, because of you're going to get the wrong, the big wrong. Maybe it's because of I was on the speed, so is 8 over 3, blah blah blah. Let's just check here. Maybe there must be something like that we did. Okay, well, again we are going to do that thing. I think the problem here, it was the the the, the mathematics that we applied, the algebra. You understand? Because of, if you can apply the algebra. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change how I handle things. I'm going to say 4 over 3 x minus 3 over 8 x, and then here I'm going to have minus 3 plus 14 over 3. So let me just punch this on my calculator. Is 4 over 3 minus 3 over 8. 3 over 8. My answer is 23. My answer is 23. 23 over 24x, and this side, moving on negative 3 plus 4 over 3 is 5 over 3. So it's 5 over 3. So let's cross multiply here. Do this. So 5 multiplied by 4. So let's see, 5 by 24, not 4. 5 by 24. My answer is going to be 120, and then let's say 3 multiplied by 23. My answer is going to be 69x. So if my answer is like this, 69x, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to say 120 divided by 69, and my answer for x, I get 40 over 23. So still, this is automatically, I don't know what's going on here, guys. Really, I don't know what we are missing here, you understand? I don't know what we are missing here. Let me just observe here. Okay, guys, let me just go back where how we handle things previously there. And this is like eating time now. It's eating our time, So, well, let me just say 3 over 8 x minus this, which is 4 over 3x, and I have negative 14 over 3 plus 3. Let me punch this on the calculator. Alright, I see where is the problem. The problem basically is here. I'm sorry about this. Like I said, I'm alone here. Maybe I am tired, so that's why I'm doing all these things wrong. I mean, I'm doing all these things wrong, you understand? So if you were just right here, guys, I believe you it was going to be much better. So it's 14 over 3. Here it was positive, you understand? It was negative, it was positive, and I decided to put negative. I don't know why. So that's why I get my answer here as, here we are having x. So I will get my answer as 23 over 3. So from here, let's just apply the cross multiplication. So it's going to be 23 multiplied by 3. So let's just try that. 23 multiplied by 3 is 69. Okay, let's see. Let's say 69x. Let me just put negative. 24 times 23, and I get my answer as 552. Let me just divide it by 69, and my answer is going to be -8. Now, this is the correct. Divide by negative, here is 552, 552. You divide it by 63, you get the negative. Divided by -63, you get the answer as -8. And then you come to your formula. You can take one there, just take 3 over 8, where you see x is just substitute the value of x there, -3, and let's punch the calculator. We must get the correct answer from here. We must get the correct answer from here. So guys, the mistake there, it was the sign. I decided to do my own question, so automatically I'm going to get it wrong. So I don't know why. So the coordinates of D is -8 and 6. So just make sure that you get everything correct there, you understand, so that it can be easy for you. So this is the coordinates of D, and then you have the coordinates of D. I'm not going to continue with the lesson. You saw how you can prove how the parallelogram. You just have to prove for these lines because of, okay, let me just go to the questions here. Oops. Go to the question. So you just have to prove that this is a parallelogram. You have the coordinates here is -8 and -6, and what you have to do, you calculate the gradient of DC and calculate the gradient of AB. If those two gradients are equal, therefore is correct. You understand, those two things are parallel. You understand, this line AB is parallel to DC, and the gradient must be equal. You still remember the first thing that we just the first law, is it the first rule? I'm not so sure whether I should lie with the word rules. And the 3.7 was said, calculate the coordinates of M. The coordinates of M. So these things here, they bisect each other. You understand? Let me say BC, it bisects AC, meaning that this line here, let me say AM and AC, they are equal, you understand, in distance, because of BD bisect AC, you understand. So here you are just going to calculate the midpoint of AC, so that you can get the coordinates of this. You understand? You know the formula for midpoint, and then you automatically can just calculate that. Please guys, finish up this question. If you have any questions, you can just leave your comment. I will just attend to that. You can just send me the email, or you can just go to my Facebook page, is the tutors. Not on Facebook is tutors, and on YouTube is the tutors. You understand? So you can just leave your comment there, or you can just email me on tulanikelvinmasugu@gmail.com. tulanikelvinmasugu@gmail.com. So that's where you can find me. Let me just write it here for you. is Tulani Kelvin. So this is the email address where you can just send me the questions or anything, the comment, you understand. And you can also go to Facebook page. Facebook is Tulani Kelvin. I mean, not Tulani Kelvin, not Tulani Kelvin. That is my personal account, you know. So at Facebook is two tasks. You can just leave your comment there. And at YouTube is day 2 tasks, you understand. So you can just subscribe to my channel, share my videos to, and also recommend me, you understand. So I would appreciate very much for that. You can also, yeah, just subscribe so that whenever I upload any video, you can get the notification. So that was it. It was chapter 4, which was unfortunately here we did not have any question based on the angle of inclination, but I believe on the next video I'm just going to cover that too. I'm going to cover that. Oh, it's on the next question here. Just because of time, I don't have time, but we can just do this on. I will just continue with this question paper next time, you know. And then, yeah, thank you guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I guess it was helpful.